here. Greatly appreciated. My name is Brianna Washington. I am a graduating senior, English major, Spanish minor here at Spelman College. And as an aspiring Black woman who wants to be a filmmaker, I just wanted to get your opinion on the perception that Atlanta is starting to boom in terms of producing more Black filmmakers, and it's starting to become its own kind of mecca, similar to Hollywood. And so I wanted to get your opinion on how you feel, for example, a Black woman who's trying to be a filmmaker, if she should pursue going to Hollywood to do this, or possibly stay here in Georgia since it is starting to boom, and specifically because I'm interested in going to film school in LA or getting a job out here in Georgia.
You're interested in, you're thinking about going to film school in LA?
Yes, at USC or UCLA.
Okay. Have you thought about Howard?
I have not, actually.
It's an amazing film school. I mean, it's the only Black film school in the country. And, you know, you're learning the same kind of technical aspects, but with, I think, you seem like a very, perceptive, rooted sister. I just think not enough people know that there's a full throttle, amazing, badass, kick-ass film school right there. We were just there yesterday. Our cinematographer, Bradford Young, who was in cinematography at Sundance last year, is a Howard alum. Malik Saeed, Ernest Dickerson, who shot all Spike Lee films, a Howard alum. Arthur Jaffa, who shot Guards of the Dust, is a Howard alum. And filmmakers are cinematographers, they're sound people, our gaffer, Christian Epps, is a Howard alum. They're doing it. They're coming for you. It's Howard. And they've been doing it for a long, long time. So whether it's LA for film school or NYU or Howard for film school, I think that you really have to decide whether you want to do the film school route or whether you want to do the on-the-ground experience route. There are two ways to go. I didn't go to film school. I didn't even really crew on many sets before I started. My education was from proximity to filmmakers as a publicist and being so many sets. The core is you have to start picking up a camera, you have to start immersing yourself in production, and that can be done in a number of ways. Let me just say and answer your question, Atlanta is not becoming a place to be. It is a place to be for film creation and production, television particularly, and definitely for film. People are attracted to the tax credit here. There's a 30% tax credit here. I don't know if you all are. So it's literally, you have a budget, you make your film, you get 30% back. That's a lot back, right? And so you have productions that are really being attracted to this place. You have really amazing filmmakers that are coming out of Atlanta where you already are. So you have a number of different options. My vote, if I get some say, I'd say please look into Howard. And please, really, just get on a set here. I have our producer on this film he runs The Game, and he runs a new show from Robert Kill, Be Mary Jane. I know about like 7 productions that are going to be happening here next year. I mean, easier to get on these than get on productions in LA, actually. So get on the set, roll up your sleeves, see how you feel. I think get on the set first and then say, do I need to go to film school or should I stay here? I'm going to get some practical experience on set before you go to school. But I shouldn't dissuade people from going to school. Anyway, hopefully some of that in there makes sense. Lots of options, sister. You have lots of options.
Thank you so much for actually exposing my mind. Yeah, thank you very much, and I will look into Howard. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I'm Candy Dugas, and
Hey, you just tweeted.
I did.
Hi.
I'm interested in filmmaking and been a playwright for years, but moving into filmmaking with themes that I think are a little bit bigger than the stage or stories that are bigger. And so wanted to get your advice on how to present projects to your group to be considered to be produced and distributed.
Well, we don't produce films. The firm doesn't produce films. We're strictly distributors, so we acquire completed films. And I get asked all the time how to become an affirmed film, and my answer is really simple: make a good movie. So we see it after it's done. So go out there and kill it, and then
And
let us see it. Yeah. We're hunting for it. It's like the kind of what we feel are films that are really that have a singular voice, you know what I mean, that are really from a filmmaker that has a vision and was able to articulate it and see it through. We're looking to not only distribute films, but really to lift up filmmakers. Our goal is that you know all of you from filmmakers and you start to know them by name, and that we can really kind of create a canon of material together.
All right.
Okay,
Thank you.
look forward to seeing your films too.
All right, thank you.
Hey.
Hello, my
Hi.
name is Adriana Mitchell. I'm a class of 2013 English major, drama minor. I'm an aspiring actress as well as a screenwriter, aspiring screenwriter, and aspiring Black filmmaker. And I'm really glad that Brianna asked that question. That was my first question. But you answered that question. I really appreciate your insight. I will look into Howard as well. My question was, I watched an interview where you were talking about how to bridge that gap after like the first or second films that Black women filmmakers make. Like, how are you bridging that gap? Like, you made a multiple of documentaries and you're on to your, is this your second or third?
This is my second feature and my fifth, my second narrative and my fifth feature.
Yeah, so I'm finding, I guess, from your experience, how have you managed that? How have you gotten past that second film and then kind of not dropping off, but keeping it going and pursuing longevity?
Yeah, it's a great question because
Very good question.
when I was up at Sundance, I was invited to a private kind of reception where they gave us some really tired news. The Women in Film, which is a great organization based in LA, and the Sundance Institute have been doing research and study and determined that the drop-off between, not just Black women, women filmmakers, from their first film to the second film was over 60%. Over 60% of women who make one film never make another film. And the drop-off from second to third, well, it's just numbers that you don't even want to say out loud. And so the question that they're asking is, how is this fixed and why? So they're following a group of filmmakers, women filmmakers from the class of 2012 Sundance, to try to figure out what our next steps are and what's going on. And pairing us with mentors. So they called me on the phone and they asked me, what kind of mentor do you need? You want somebody to talk to you about financing your next film, or do you want somebody to talk to you about, directing the actor? I was like, I need somebody who has a distribution company. Who's booking theaters, like who is focused on the business of film as well. So I found that for me, what helped me get from 1 to 2 and 2 to 3 and 3 to 4 was being very focused on what happened to my film after I made it. And I don't understand how you make films and not concern yourself with that. And it boggles my mind. I go to film festivals constantly, and there's this big disconnect. And not just Black filmmakers, it's literally, I speak at a lot of things, with all filmmakers who kind of feel like once you finish the film, okay, well, who's going to take it? What are we doing? You know what I mean? It's just like, we can't do that. The traditional models for distribution are collapsing. Digital is on the horizon. There's so much you can do. And it's empowering and it's necessary, So my advice would be to, as a filmmaker, make sure that you are a fully rounded filmmaker that knows everything from which lenses to, VOD rates, right? Like we need to really start to include that in our swagger as filmmakers, particularly women filmmakers, particularly Black women filmmakers. Otherwise, it's a wrap. That's overwhelming to be told. But I just, the filmmaking you're going to do, you just have to add these other parts, and these are the parts that they don't tell us we should do. But the people that are really winning in the space are the folks that are thinking in a very total way about their filmmaking. So, yeah.
Thank you. All right. My name is Denise, and I just want to...
Oh my gosh, you're on Twitter too! Facebook? Facebook!
Yeah.
That's so weird. We were like, wow, is she on Facebook a lot?
I am.
Twitter?
And we've interacted on Facebook. But
Okay.
I'm from Los Angeles.